Hello, RiverWolves fans, and welcome back. I am once again joined by the head coach of the RiverWolves, Colin Bailey. And Colin and I have had a few conversations that you can find over on our Inside the Den podcast, which is now available on Apple, Spotify, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, anywhere that you can find podcasts, so go check that out. But Colin is joining me here on video today to discuss the success of at least the relative success of the road trip this last weekend. You went to Rochester on Friday night and battled them to what ended up being a 5-3 victory, but it was 4-0 with 1 minute remaining in the third period. 4-3. So. With 1 minute remaining in the third period. So maybe one of your guys' best overall games of the season. Would you venture out to say that?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, given how we've compared to Rochester, throughout the season, that was fantastic for us. I mean, we played a very structured, disciplined game throughout the entire time. Kept it simple, made the simple plays, not trying to get too fancy or too, make it difficult on ourselves. And most importantly, they competed and they played with heart. They seemed like we wanted it a little bit more. And like I've said before, I've said this multiple times, Rochester's just a fantastic team with just a fantastic roster, and you could tell, good teams are going to, figure out ways to win at the end of the game in those, tough moments like that. And that's what they ended up doing. And that's, but at the end of the day, couldn't have been happier with the success and, the effort that they showed and, just the determination to keep going through, where we're at right now.
And they were able to find the back of the net, 3 goals on 18 shots. What did you see there? Was there anything? I didn't get to see the game because it was over in Rochester, but were they moving the puck well, backdoor goals? Was it shots in front, or how did the 3 goals come about?
Couple dirty, garbage goals, and then our power play finally capitalized, on a nice shot from Blake Neudecker, which was, fantastic. I mean, our power play's really been starting to click, and, they've really kind of put their egos aside and really started to work together as a complete unit rather than 5 individuals at one time, which was, a struggle throughout the season. But, it's nice that it's finally starting to click and, we're starting to play good hockey. Fortunately, the timing is a little off, but you know what? I'll take it for what it is, and, we're enjoying ourselves doing it.
And Rochester, another thing that speaks volumes about your team is the fact that these guys get up for a game against a team that is as good as they are.
Yep.
A lot of teams will be like, man, we got to go to Rochester again, and just from the get-go, they're not going to want to be there. They think they're going to get their butts kicked, whatever. These guys are the exact opposite. They want to go play Rochester. They want to beat them so badly. Like, I was just talking to Dane Remringer, Devin Haltberg, and their number one goal the rest of the season is to beat Rochester. So it's like you guys have developed kind of this rivalry back and forth. It's been a bit lopsided as far as the wins and losses, but again, that just speaks volumes about you as a coach and your team and the toughness of these guys that they want to go and take on a team that good.
Yeah, and that's, I've said that before. I can't speak highly enough of my guys. I know, and I think the feeling's pretty mutual. I'd run through a brick wall for these guys, and I think, I think they would do it the same as well. And it's fantastic to, going in, like you said, I mean, this, fantastic team like Rochester with the, the star power that they have, and, multiple NA caliber players on their roster, and, a lot of teams would just be like, all right, here we go again. But, I mean, that's something that we've never had all season, and it's just, we take it for what it's worth, and we go and we give our all every single game.
So that was night 1 of a 3-game road trip. Took on Peoria the next 2 nights. Second game went pretty well. I believe you lost that one 3-1, 5-1.
4-5-1. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Me neither. A lot of numbers going on, but that game again, your team skated well. They were outshot, but played well overall. And then that big third game of the weekend, which we have talked about as well. And it's just so tough to play 3 games in a row at any point of the season. But when that third one is an away game in the middle of the afternoon, I mean, sometimes after you play 2 fantastic games, it's hard to come out and not be flat in that third game, and that's kind of what we saw. Unfortunately, what did you say to the guys after that game about the whole weekend?
Yeah, I think we played a solid period and a half, and then you could, tell that we played 3 in 3 games, and we just didn't really have the depth that Peoria does.
That's true. It was only 5-0 after the 2 periods, so the third period kind of was,
we just kind of, you could definitely tell, and that's gonna happen. I mean, we're rolling 3 lines, and Peoria's got 4 and an extra forward, and I don't think we competed very well against Peoria all season. I mean, their style of play, with our depth as well. I mean, they play a very in-your-face, physical, run and gun style, and they just wear you down. And like I said with the depth, I mean, that's hard to hard to compete against. Especially when kind of with the team that we have right now, and it's no knocks against anybody there, but I mean Peoria, very well coached. Extremely well coached, and and that's something you could tell throughout there that he's got 20 years of experience, some at the professional level as well, and they wear us down, and on a 3-game weekend like that, to be expected, not quite to that level necessarily. You don't really want to accept that for success,
right.
But I'd say overall, kind of looking at it whole, we competed well for 2 out of the 3 games, 2.5 out of the 3 games, and that's all I can ask for these guys at this point. Like I've said before, and the fact that they come out and they give it their all every single time that they touch the ice I'd say that's a success.
And you have called Peoria a sleeper team possibly for the Fraser Cup this year.
Yeah.
So very tough matchup. But then you look forward into the next 4 games here. All of them are going to be right here at the Marathon County Ice Arena. So you guys have a nice stretch of home games here. I believe they're split up into 2 and 2, so you don't have any back-to-back nights again. And somehow 3 out of those 4 games are against the same team in Milwaukee.
Yep.
You guys have beaten Milwaukee earlier this season. They've had their own struggles as well. I believe they only have 5 or 6 wins this season as well. And then they're going to come into your barn and play you 3 times in a row.
Yep.
This, as we've mentioned, you guys kind of turning a corner here. You're starting to play good hockey a little bit late in the season, but that doesn't matter here. As you go into this stretch of games, able to pick up more momentum, able to face a team that you know for a fact that you can beat.
Yeah.
So what's the mindset going into this weekend? What have you guys been working on specifically in practice with what you know about Milwaukee here?
Right.
Like, what's the game plan going in against these guys?
Game plan, I mean, honestly, we're not going to change up too much from what we've been doing. I think we've been playing good hockey, like I've been saying, and practices, basically the focus on practice is just competing. We know the systems, we know our structure, we know what we need to do. And, at this, we're in the dog days of the season right now where it's kind of, okay, every single day, whatever, coming to the rink again, and it's, the weather's off, and it's just kind of, some days you need to push yourself to get there. So, I mean, really the focus has been, especially with what I've been saying, with where we're at right now, the focus has been competing and let's just have fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think ever since we've kind of taken that approach, it's really, like Dane and Devin touched on, we've been doing a lot of stuff off ice together, and it's really, it's really starting to show that the boys are starting to click. So, I mean, these Milwaukee games are obviously very exciting. I mean, we were able to win 2 out of them against them earlier, and then that third one, I mean, in my opinion, we absolutely dominated. Sure. We just, we faced a hot goalie in Greilich, and that's going to be another thing. Is Greilich is a very good goaltender, and then Barnhill as well. So I mean, either goalie that we're going to be seeing is very good, and we just need to capitalize on our opportunities.
And to combat good goaltenders, you just got to find a way to put the puck in the net. And I kind of asked you this a little bit previously, but just what do you think has changed for this team offensively that has allowed you to score more goals lately? Is it just working hard in front of the net and scoring those garbage goals?
Yeah.
Is it simple as that?
Yeah, I mean, just getting those, I think, throughout the season, guys are just gripping their sticks too tight, putting too much pressure on themselves. We need to score, need to score, need to score. Mm-hmm. Once we kind of take away that pressure and, just, guys, go out there and have fun with it. You know how to play hockey. You know what you need to do. You know where you need to be at the right times, and just go out there and play. Yeah. And I think once we started taking that approach, it's really started to pay dividends, and it's been nice to see. That guys aren't really putting because once you put that pressure on yourself, and it's just nothing really good comes out of it. I mean, some guys can really perform under that pressure, and others don't. And I think we got the kind of guys that don't really perform under that pressure, especially under themselves.
Sure.
So I mean, once they've kind of started relaxing and just going out and playing the game and enjoying each other's company and playing together as a unit, it's really started to pay dividends, like I've been saying.
Yeah, playing together and for each other. I mean, you can't put like a number or percentage or anything on how important that is. It's one of the most important things you can have on any sporting team, really. So 3 out of the next 4 against Milwaukee, the other one against Cooley Region, all winnable games.
Yeah.
Definitely all winnable games. If you have 2 good weeks of hockey here, you can basically, turn around. You can double the wins on the season total. You can move up another position in the Central Division. I mean, a lot of stuff can change over these next 2 weeks of solid hockey. So, good luck the next couple weeks. I know you have your players prepared. And to any fans, come on down. This is the perfect time of the year to come on down and enjoy some RiverWolves hockey here with all of us at the Marathon County Ice Arena. Only one football game left, but we still got lots of hockey here. So come on down, 4 chances in a row for you to come watch Coach Bailey do his thing over on the bench and watch all of his players, including Dane Remringer, Devin Haltberg, who you can hear over on Inside the Den podcast. So I think that's it. Thanks for sitting down with me here, Coach.
You.
And then maybe we'll talk to you after this set of 4 games, and hopefully going to be talking about 4 victories.
Let's hope so.
All right, well, we'll see you all here out at the Marathon County Ice Arena. Watch some RiverWolves hockey. I am Jake Senholz, head coach Colin Bailey, and we'll talk to you later.